All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Technical Assistance Workshop in conjunction with Miami-Dade County and Career Source and all of our partners that help to make sure small businesses get the latest information in regards to developing, expanding, and growing here in Miami-Dade County. We are going live on Facebook. So for those that are here on Zoom, you can share it to your page on Facebook. You can share it online. We want to make sure people get this information about becoming a certified business with Miami-Dade County. This is a very important process. As you know, the county is a multi-billion-dollar institution and they do billions in procurement, and they have a division and have laws that govern making sure small businesses get their piece of that procurement dollars. And today we have the head and director of the small business development, Mr. Gary Hartfield, that's going to give an amazing presentation. So if you know a business or you know someone that's in small business, I strongly encourage you to send them the link, have them join on this Zoom, on Facebook, invite them so that they can get this information. We want to make sure everyone has access to this. They know how to be a certified and take advantage of the funding so they can grow and expand their business. Here at the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, we're here to support. We're one of the technical assistance partners with Miami-Dade County to provide that assistance to help those businesses get certified, along with the team at the Small Business Development Division of Miami-Dade County. So we look forward for you joining in this conversation. Share this information. Just to go through a few housekeeping rules. At the moment, for those that are here on Zoom, you have priority in getting your questions answers, to make comments on questions. Use the chat, say hello to us in the chat. We want to make sure that you are engaged. So if you have any questions, put those questions in the Q&A box. You can also make comments during the session. We have technical assistants, people on hand from Miami-Dade County to be able to share with you and answer your questions and make direct contact with the Small Business Development Center right here, right now. All right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our president, Eric Knowles, to welcome you to this event and also speak about the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce and introduce our speaker for today.
So as I unmute myself, good afternoon, well, good morning. I've been running since early this morning. But anyway, I am so excited, always excited to be in the company of Mr. Gary Hartfield and the work that he does each and every day to ensure that our businesses are engaged with opportunities at Miami-Dade County. So, you know, Gary, thank you so much. As we do these workshops, we do technical assistance, and you and your staff are always there. So we truly appreciate it. We truly appreciate those of you who are joining us this morning to learn more about the Miami-Dade Chamber and doing business with Miami-Dade County. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Eric. I'm very appreciative and thankful for being here today. We really want to reach out to your businesses that's a part of MDCC. I believe your chamber is one of the chambers that's been around for a number of years and have made wonderful strides in everything that we have done and continue to do within Miami-Dade County, especially for our Black businesses located here in Miami-Dade County. Miami-Dade County back in the day had a program, and the program that we had back in the day was a minority-based program where we took in count the ethnicity and gender of a firm, and we created opportunities based on it. The county was sued back in the mid-'80s, saying that that was unconstitutional, that we could not award contracts in that manner. So Miami-Dade County had to become creative in a way to promote and create opportunities for small businesses so that they can continue to strive here in our economy. So one of the things that Miami-Dade County proposed and actually implemented was a race-neutral, gender-neutral program. This program allows us to be able to look at the 3-year average gross receipt of a firm, and as long as it was a certain criteria where we bound them from all the way from 3-year averaging $0 all the way averaging $10 million, to allow them to be a certified small business within Miami-Dade County, to allow them to be able to participate and take advantage of these opportunities that avail themselves here. Miami-Dade County has a $9 billion budget. About 3.5 billion we spend in architect and engineering, goods and services, and most importantly, construction. Construction is heavily dealt with. Those particular projects in construction and architect and engineering are really looked at very carefully by my office, Small Business Development, to create every opportunity for our businesses. We also have what is called the MCC program, which is the Miscellaneous Construction Contract Program that avails many opportunities for businesses that are certified with us. So I want to go in more detail in that and get a little bit more depth. And so I have a slide presentation that I want to share with everyone so we can walk through what we do and how we do and how we promote these small businesses here in Miami-Dade County. Jacob, you want to share my screen with me? Next slide. So of course, Miami-Dade County Internal Services Department is where small business development resides. We are a division of the Internal Services Department. We are here working in conjunction with the Office of Procurement, which is another division within Internal Services. We are led and by esteemed director, Alex Munoz, who's a very strong advocate for small businesses. Our wonderful mayor, Levine Carver, just appointed Alex Munoz 4 months ago as the director of small business development. As the director of ISD, which he's now my boss here at me being the director of small business development, but giving us an opportunity to work well together. Alex and I have had a wonderful working relationship for over 27 years within Miami-Dade County. We have a good understanding of what it takes to do just what that first bullet say, to establish programs to promote small businesses in Miami-Dade County. We coordinate with several different organizations and also with the procurement department and every single user department to create opportunities for small businesses so they can grow and contribute to what we do here in Miami-Dade County. We have ordinances that are in place to create opportunities for small businesses. Miami-Dade County has to spend at least 10% of their dollars with small businesses so in architect and engineering, goods and services, and in construction. So we can do that. We've been averaging about 19 to 20%. We're thinking about making that more of a mandatory approach going forward so that we know that small businesses could create as many opportunities as possible. Next slide. One of the most important things that I want everyone to walk away here with is that it is totally, absolutely, 100% free to certify your business with Miami-Dade County Small Business Development. We have a certification team that's ready, willing, and able to take on and look at your applications, work with you so that we can get everything that needs to be done in order to be certified. In addition to that, I have a business outreach and education unit that goes out to businesses throughout the community and knock on your door and tell you the good things that we're doing here in Miami-Dade County. It is our goal that we get at least 100 new businesses a month to certify themselves with us. And that goal, it needs to be reached, and we're doing everything in our effort to do that. What does it take to get certified? Again, it's absolutely free to do this for a 3-year period. You have to meet a 3-year average gross receipt of terms. You have to have a local business tax receipt here at Miami-Dade County. All firms must have an actual place of business located in Miami-Dade County, and each owner's personal net worth can be no higher than $1.5 million. Next slide. It's easy to do our certification. If you're going to renew or you want to be a new certification, all you have to do is log on to the website that we see located here, and this email address, website address, mdcsbd.gov2g.com. That's our business to government software that we have, that is we put in place specifically so that firms like yourself do not have to use paper all the time. We can go online, we can start your application so that you can become a certified firm. It's an easy 1, 2, 3 process. All you have to do is click on to apply for a certification, and then complete the documents that are above. My staff would then review these applications, and then if need be, they will give you a call back to walk you through more additional steps so that you can become certified. Next slide. How to apply for certification. This is what it's going to look like when you're applying for it. It's going to give you these opportunities. It's going to welcome you. It's going to ask you to create an account or look up one if you can. So if you have one, it's going to ask you to go back in, and so that you can begin the application. Next slide. So how we carve out opportunities for small businesses. I talked about the 10% spending that must goes to all SBE firms. And again, that's the floor, not the ceiling. That's what we need to get to, but I achieve, and also Miami-Dade County achieve, to make sure that we as an economic engine of this county create these opportunities for you all to be able to participate. We also have other agencies that participate with us by utilizing our certification list. The Miami-Dade Express Authority, Miami-Dade Community College, Jackson Health Services, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. They also use our certification list. So what that means is that you're eligible to be able to bid on projects within their realm, and what they put out, advertise for award. You can bid on those projects, submit a bid, and hopefully that you can be awarded those contracts as well by being a certified small businesses. We also give access to one-on-one technical assistance. LaWanda Wright Robinson is the chief over our business outreach and education unit, and that unit is the one that also knocks on your door to ask you and invite you to become a certified firm, but also provide you the one-on-one technical assistance that you need in order to make sure that you have a fighting chance to be awarded a contract here in Miami-Dade County. The legislation that governs payments and contracts and requirements and departments for SBE firms, we also look at that as well. We also ensure that we try to get you guys paid within 14 days that you submit an approved invoice. An approved invoice is when Miami-Dade County User Department agrees that everything that's written in that invoice is legitimate for payment, and you also agree that everything in that invoice is legitimate for payment. Once those both consensus happen, we then enforce that 14 days from that time, that payment must be processed and a check must be cut and given to these firms, or placed by ACH deposit, direct deposit within their bank account. Next slide. Again, these websites for this information and to become certified within our county. Again, that's the website. I employ you guys to go to this website and look around. And you can also venture to see other firms that may be in your field that are certified. One of the key components of being a SBE is when we have 3 or more firms that can perform that commercial useful function within that particular bid that's being out, we can make that bid 100% a set aside. And so that's how we like to do things. And the way we do that is by our project review and analysis unit. This is the unit that really looks at every single contract that comes through Miami-Dade County. All $3.5 billion have to be reviewed by Small Business Development before it's awarded and advertised, or before it's advertised or awarded for completion. And so every single one of them, in architect, engineering, and goods and services and constructions, we review those to make sure that we can have firms. And like I said, if we had 3 or more firms that are certified in that particular bid, we can make that 100% set aside for our firms. We also try to give you a 6-month review of projects that we're reviewing, also projects that's coming up for a possible bid. And you can also go to our website that is listed right here on your left-hand side. That website would allow you to look at all the construction projects we have under the review, and projects we have under review, and also all the goods and services projects that we have under review. So it gives our small businesses a time to prepare their bid, to look forward to opportunities that may be in their realm. And you also know what the contract amount is looking at, and when it goes in effect, and the aspiration of those particular contracts. What you see in front of you is basically that is what you would see when you do a project review. This is one that I believe is for architect and engineering within that field. These are the types of projects that it'll show, the length of that time, and then you could click on the actual RFP and then talk about the actual technical categories that may be relevant to you, and so that you can use those things so that you can prepare your bid for submission. Next slide. This is the crown jewel of Miami-Dade County. This is the most important program that I believe creates the best opportunities for all construction firms that are in Miami-Dade County. This is our miscellaneous construction program. The MCC 7040 and the MCC 7360 are plans that was put into place so that we can create more opportunities for our firms. The MCC 7040 program is only for certified firms in construction that's a part of this process. I can honestly say about 75% of the construction projects that happens in Miami-Dade County goes through the MCC 7040 program. The remaining of those projects will either go through the 7360 program, or there be the project exceed the dollar amount of the program. The MCC program goes up to $5 million. That means that's worth of $5 million worth of contracts. Individual contracts cannot exceed $5 million. If they exceed $5 million, we'll do a different bid, but under $5 million, they go through one of these plans. And more than likely, it's a rotational pool where we can get more opportunities to our small businesses so that they can actually begin work in the county and complete work in the county and get another contract in the county. And this goes for different things for general contractors and also for single trades, painters, plumbers, electricians, roofers. There's plenty of single trade contracts that come through there. And also there are contracts that general contractors are needed where we sub out the work to additional SBEs. When it's a 7040 contract, only SBE firms can work on that contract. What does that mean? That means if it's a general contractor contract and a contract that has multiple trades, that means each one of those trades has to be completed by a SBE firm. That's very unique. There's no other program like this in the country. Miami-Dade County leads this program, and it's the crown, as I mentioned before, it's the crown jewel of our program. Our 7360, go back one more second. I want to talk about 7360 real quick. 7360 program is very unique. It allows non-certified firms and certified firms to be in this program. But what's unique about the 7360 program, small businesses still will get an opportunity to compete on this thing because it's not a total set aside for small businesses. But what we do is create opportunities by placing goals or percentage of that contract to be performed by small businesses. So the MCC program, whether it's 7040 or 7360, small businesses are always winning. And that's one of the things I wanted to make a point of. So any construction firm that's out there that has any misunderstanding, understand this. come to Miami-Dade County, get certified, have you an office here in Miami-Dade County, have a local business tax receipt for a year, get certified in Miami-Dade with Miami-Dade County Small Business Development, and become a part of our 70/40 program, and you'll get some work. Eventually it'll come around to you. Next slide. Here at Miami-Dade County, we also give you opportunities to assist you in your bonding capacity. We noticed a long time ago that there's a lot of things that is missing, but one of the major things that is missing is access to capital. A lot of small businesses are not in a financial position to be able to assist themselves and get what is needed in order to perform on these contracts that I just spoke about. Any contract right now under $250,000 doesn't require a bond. And so those contracts are prevalent within the 70/40 program too, to get you going. But we do have some projects that's between 251,000 up to 5 million that you're going to need some bonding as bonds in order to perform those opportunities. My staff through Mr. Carlos and Mr. Anthony gives you an opportunity to work with you to try to get you guys bonded so that you can have access to bonding capacity so that you can also submit a bid for these programs. So we have a fast track bonding program. We also have a lending assistance program. Our loan program is very unique. It's based upon you actually having a contract with the county where we can give you up to 80% of the value of that contract in advance. And we would then, as you get paid for the work that you're doing, we would take the money back, pay back to our program based upon you getting paid. But it's a wonderful program. It's kind of like a factoring company. It gives you what you need in order to get started on these projects. We know that startup costs is also some of the things that small businesses may have when they're taking on a new project. They maybe need to buy uniforms. They need to buy some materials. They need to buy some things that needs to assistance. So they need to have that cash readily available. We will work with you in creating a responsible plan for you in order to get these things done. And like I said, Carlos and Anthony are one of the two good guys we have here that gives you that information and make sure that it's a part of your everyday. Next slide. I just want to thank you for being a part of this. I think that these are just some tidbits of things that we do here in Miami-Dade County. I didn't want to bore you about a lot of the things and go into the weeds, but what I did want to do was give you guys the opportunity to understand what it is that we're here trying to get you guys available, be a part of, become consistent every day in your life and your business life here in Miami-Dade County. We need firms like you. Miami-Dade County has over 80,000 small businesses that reside here in Miami-Dade County, and only 1,800 of them are certified with me as a small business. Again, we do work at the airport, seaport, water and sewer, public works, transit. There's plenty of opportunities for businesses like yourself. Every single good and service, every single construction project, all the architect and engineering design that is needed, we need you to become a part of this. We need our Black businesses to play more of a bigger role in our program. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. This is the perfect time for you to do that if needed. If Eric, if that's what you want, or Matthew, that's what you want, I can answer questions.
All right. Thank you very much. Gary, I believe we have another presenter, and I would like us to kind of tackle both. But during that meantime, I want to remind everyone, you can use the Q&A function to put your questions that you have. For those that are watching on Facebook, I want to ask you to click the link to register to join in on this conversation so you can ask questions directly to Mr. Hartfield about becoming certified. But please put those questions in the chat, in the Q&A. You have any comments in the chat, we're going to have one more presentation. by Radia Teray, who with the Miami-Dade Ethics Commission, to talk more about the ethics in regards to doing business with Miami-Dade County. So Ms. Teray, you want to go ahead and take us?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Pickett. My name is Radia Teray. Thank you very much for having me. I am the advocate over the Miami-Dade Commission on Ethics and Public Trust. As you all might know, the Miami-Dade Commission on Ethics and Public Trust basically interprets, trains, and enforces the Miami-Dade Ethics Code. If you are going to do business with Miami-Dade County, you should be aware that there is an ethics code, and there are some provisions in our ethics code that are going to be applicable to you as a small business owner if you're doing business with us, with the county and in the various municipalities. So today I will really like to focus on 3 provisions of the ethics code. In my role as advocate, I'm in charge of the prosecuting. I'm the lead prosecutor here at the Ethics Commission. So if anybody runs afoul of the ethics code, I have to prosecute and investigate. So I'm in charge of the enforcement unit. So I really want to make sure, we educate up front, so none of you end up in front of me in my role as the advocate. The 3 provisions of the ethics code that I really think people get tripped up on all the time are the following. The first one is Section C of the code. The Section C of the code basically says that it prohibits any immediate family member of a county employee from entering into a contract or transaction with the county department that your family member works in. So let's say you have a spouse, right? Your wife or your husband works in Miami-Dade County Water and Sewer Department. You, as an owner of a small business, you're not allowed to do business with the Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department. You can do business with any of the other departments, but you're not allowed to do business with the Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department. So when you initially go to Mr. Hartfield's division and you're registering as a small business, you're going to fill out in your vendor registration form. And one of the things that they're going to ask you is if one of your family members works for the county. You fill out that form. If one of your family members immediate family members works for the county, they're immediately going to ask you to contact our office, the Commission on Ethics, for us to give you an opinion. We will advise you at that time that you're allowed to do business with the county, but you're not allowed to do business with the department that your spouse works for. Please don't forget about these opinions. ISD, and we've been in talks with the Strategic Procurement Unit. Under Section C of the code, you're supposed to disclose this every time that you apply for a bid here in Miami-Dade County. And they haven't been doing it in the past, but they're going to start doing it for every single solicitation that's going to be issued in Miami-Dade County. Henceforth, because this is part of the ethics code, they're going to include Section C in that solicitation. This goes for any RFP, RFQ, or an invitation to bid, okay? So it's going to advise you that you are prohibited, what the prohibitions are under Section C. In addition to that, they're also going to be requiring that people disclose. There's going to be a disclosure that you're going to have to fill out every time you apply or you submit a bid on any solicitation here in Miami-Dade County. They hadn't been doing this previously, but this is one of the changes that are happening because I just had a huge case regarding this, okay? So you please make sure you disclose it, because if you don't disclose it at the time of your bid, and for some reason you end up doing business with the departments that either your spouse, your parent, or your child works for here at the county, you're going to be in violation of the ethics code. And it's one of those situations where, once the notice to proceed is issued or you sign that contract, it's kind of like a done deal. Like, I don't even have to do much investigation because you've already violated the code. So be very aware of that. Disclose it when you're registering as a county vendor, when it's time for you to submit a bid to any solicitation here in the county, regardless of what form that solicitation takes place, whether it's an RFP, whether it's an ITQ, or an invitation to an invitation to code, or any other type of solicitation, please make sure that you disclose it, because if you don't disclose it and you end up getting into a contract, or you end up transacting business with the department that your immediate family member works for, you're going to be in violation of the ethics code. So this is very, very, very important. This requirement can be waived by the BCC, okay? So let's say you do get an opinion and it says that your spouse works for the water and sewer department, and our opinion is going to say you're not allowed to do business with the water and sewer department. You can appeal that decision to the Board of County Commissioners. So you have an option, right? And the Board of County Commissioners can then vote as to whether or not to waive the requirement, depending on the solicitation that you're applying for. So make sure it's not like it isn't a rule, it's a prohibition in the code, but it can be waived, all right? But if you haven't gotten the waiver from the BCC, please don't enter into these transactions after we issue your opinion, all right? And these opinions generally last for as long as your spouse is in that department. The case that I just did, we literally issued the opinion back in 2010. His spouse, the person's spouse, still works for the water and sewer department. So guess what? That opinion is still valid. He never applied for a waiver to the BCC, so our opinion stands. All right. Be very careful. You can do business with any other department in Miami-Dade County. You can't do business with a department that your spouse, your parent, or your child works for, unless you get a waiver from the Board of County Commissioners. The second section of the ethics code that I wanted to go over that directly applies to you all as any business doing business in Miami-Dade County is section S of the ethics code. That's literally the lobbyist registration requirement, right? So let's say you've registered as a certified business, small business, and you're bidding on a contract, and that contract is going to end up before the county mayor, the Board of County Commissioners, or any other county board or county committee, right? If that's the case, then you're going to have to register the lobby, all right? You'll probably have to register the lobby, and the reason why is because if you're seeking to encourage any county official, any department personnel, in order to encourage them to give you this contract, you're going to have to register the lobby. So if you just submit a bid, you don't have to register the lobby for that. However, if you're going to have any conversations with county employees, county officials, or the county mayor or elected officials, in order for them to encourage them or to influence them to award or contract to your company, you're likely going to have to register to lobby. All right, it's a simple registration. There is a registration fee. That registration fee can, however, be waived if you're the president or the owner of the company. You also have to pay to take the ethics course. We do like a whole 2-hour training that you can watch from your computers now, because because we're in a pandemic, we don't do them live anymore. So you can sit and watch it from your computer at home. We've made it super, super easy. It's a simple registration. Please make sure you do that. But the only time you have to do that, well, there are two situations that you have to think of. One is your contract going to go before the county board, the county board, the county mayor, or the BCC, right? And second, which is the most important, are you going to engage with any county official or county employee in order to influence them regarding awarding your company that contract? If the answer is yes, you're going to engage and actually seek to influence a county employee, county official, Board of County Commissioners person in order for your company to be awarded a contract. You're going to have to register to lobby, all right? Because that's considered lobbying. So please be aware of that. So first register as a certified small business. When the solicitations go out and you start bidding, if you're going to simply submit a quote, that's generally, you don't have to register for that. But if you're going to engage in any conversations with county employees or county elected officials in order for them to award you the contract, Be very aware, be very careful, because the minute you start having those conversations, you're probably going to have to register the lobby. All right. So be very careful of that. The lobbyist registration prohibitions is one of the most, it's the one that we enforce the most, okay? Because it's a simple one. It's just going on the website to see whether or not you've registered a lobby and did the contract, is the contract going to end up before the county mayor, Board of County Commissioners, or County Board or Committee. So it's a very simple thing to prove, and it's just a simple registration. So just do it, right? Just the same way you register as an SB. If you know you're going to be speaking to people to award you your contracts, then just register the lobby as well, okay? Like I said, if you're the president or owner of your small business, you have to register, but you don't have to pay the $490 in the registration fees, which is a big deal, right? And you have to take an ethics course within 60 days. The third thing that you need to be aware of is that there's a section of our ethics code, and it's called the Code of Silence, and it's section T of our ethics code. This Code of Silence provision applies to all contracts for goods and services in Miami-Dade County. And what it basically says is, what it basically does is it restricts your ability, or prohibits communications between and among bidders, proposers, lobbyists, and specified government officials, officers, and employees. What does this mean? It means that when the cone of silence is on, you are not going to be able to speak to any county officials that are involved in the process. You're not allowed to speak to the mayor. You're not allowed to speak to the Board of County Commissioners. You're not allowed to speak to selection committee members. That you're not allowed to speak to the departments that the contract is going to be used, because they're part of under the cone of silence as well. So you're not allowed to speak to any of those people during the time the cone of silence is in place. The cone of silence is in place the minute that the bid is advertised, right? So if the bid has been advertised, just know that the cone of silence is in effect. And you're not allowed to have any conversations with the mayor, elected officials, select anybody. If it's going to go before a selection committee, you're not allowed to speak to those selection committee people. If it's regarding, let's say, the water and sewer department, you're not allowed to speak to people from the water and sewer department in order to convince them to get you the contract. All right. There's some exceptions to that, and it's under that training will take like a really long time to get through. But if you have any questions, you can let us know. That cone of silence is in place until the mayor makes a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners regarding who is to get the contract. So the cone of silence is in place from the minute the bid is advertised, all the way until the mayor makes a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners regarding the award. All right. So if it's not a contract that's going to go before the Board of County Commissioners, and it's supposed to be, and the mayor has delegated that award, that duty to make the award to a department personnel person, and that department personnel person is the person that's going to be awarding the contract. The cone is in effect until that person that has the power, that delegated power from the mayor, until that person makes their award recommendation. All right. But remember, it applies to all contracts for goods and services here in Dade County. It goes into effect the minute the bid is advertised, and it's not lifted until the mayor makes an award recommendation to the BCC. And if it's a contract that could have been awarded by the mayor and she's delegated the authority to award that contract to somebody in a department, it's lifted at the time that the award recommendation is made. All right. So let's say there was an invitation to quote, right? An invitation for you to submit, like a quote regarding a particular service. The minute that invitation to quote goes out and the bid is advertised, guess what? The cone is already in effect. You can't have any conversations. All right, you can submit your bid, your proposal. You can submit your quote. You can't have any conversations with any county, the department people that are involved with it. You're not allowed to speak to the mayor or anybody like that until a recommendation, an award recommendation is made. So be very, very, very careful. Those are really the three main sections of our ethics code that trip people up all the time. This is a very short, cursory, I just wanted you to be aware of it. We normally do much more extensive trainings on those three sections of the ethics code. And we only have a few minutes here, but I did want to bring them to your attention. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be very happy to answer your questions. We'll be very happy to provide additional training. If you want a formal opinion, opinion from us, we can certainly provide it as well. But just know that those rules are in effect. And if you are going to do business with Miami-Dade County, you should be very, very aware of them. Thank you very much. I don't know if you all have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
You know, the one that jumps out at me, which I did not know, and I'm glad you explained that, was the fact that if you are a business owner or the president of a company, you can have the lobby fee waived.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of people don't know about that.
Yes. So, and it's a significant fee too. In order to register at a lobby here in Miami-Dade County, it costs $490.
Right, exactly.
Lobby. But if you're the president and owner of your own company, that fee can be waived. You just have to tell the clerk of the board person, and the fee can be waived.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are intimidated by the fact, first of all, I got to register as a lobbyist. What does it mean? And now I got paid $490, and
Yeah.
I am the president of my company, or so on and so forth. And so, no, that's a good one. That's good information. All the information, obviously.
And that's definitely something we're going to be sharing with all of our members quite a bit. We have quite a few single person businesses that are trying to get contracts. So thank you for sharing that, Mr. Ray. All right. So we have some question and answers. I know in the chat, one of the questions, I think was already answered, but I just wanted to just do it for those that are watching online and through Facebook. We have a few businesses that are online. We have We Screen, a business that does like screening for background checks, drugs. We have a hair salon that does hairstyling, braiding, and wigs, and even a painting company. So Mr. Hartfield, what are some of the best opportunities that Miami-Dade County currently have for small business owners? And then could you speak to some businesses that most people wouldn't, or procurement opportunities that most people wouldn't necessarily think a government procures, that can potentially be an opportunity for business owners that don't know about whether or not they should become a certified business?
Wonderful question, Matthew. I believe the most underrated commodity that we have is towing. Actually towing the cars by the police department, towing cars that the police department know that is in the middle of an intersection that needs to be moved. That the county has a $5 million contract that they utilize for that as well. Also, something that you wouldn't think of that would be here in Miami-Dade County is also for funeral homes. The county looking for indigent pickup and the people who demise and need to be taken to the funeral home so that they could be prepared for burial. The county pays for that as well. We have a contract for that. The county has over 10,000 commodity codes in which we do and procure services from, goods and services from. Within those 10,000 commodity codes, they can go from many places. Public housing works with a lot of assisted living facilities. They also provide services for beauty care, letting your hair getting done, getting a haircut, doing makeup for the elderly that's at the home. So there's different opportunities that come at different times. Those contracts, again, we look at and we review to make them available. I always will go back to our crown jewel, which is the MCC program, the construction projects. There's a painter that was at one of my chief's home the other day, and he made the comment that, hey, the county doesn't have projects for just painting, and that's not correct. The county within the miscellaneous construction program gives you all an opportunity to do just that trade itself. You can enter into a contract with the county. So it's not a subcontracting opportunity. It's an opportunity for firms to be able to participate. So I welcome them to come. Like I said, it's over 10,000 commodity codes. I know we have one that will find and fit what you need, and we may have multiple commodity codes that fits within your business that creates that opportunity for you. So please don't delay. Reach out to the number in the chat on this site. We have given a number that can be contacted, small business. That number is 305-375-3111. Again, it's 305-375-3111. Or you can always email us at sbdmail@miamidade.gov. Hit your questions in there. If you got anything else, we can follow up.
Awesome, perfect. And I'm glad you touched on a beauty salon. One of our members that has a hair salon and asked them whether or not there's any opportunities in hairstyling, braiding, and wig making. So that's good. We also have someone on Facebook that asked about how can event planning or limousine services be utilized as a business or Miami-Dade County, or whether or not that is a procurement opportunity.
Well, again, there are other entities that utilize our certification list. And let me give you a prime example. When Miami-Dade County hosts the Super Bowl, so when the Super Bowl come down to Miami-Dade County, or FIVA soccer, or the race car that comes down, they have what is called host committees. These host committees are done by the county, and the county is required to host those events by creating opportunities for them to provide their goods and service needs for that particular event. The Super Bowl come to mind greatly because I was over it in 2007, trying to assist small businesses to participate. One of my main tools that I used when I was at the Super Bowl was the small business development certification list. So I went to those small businesses and I looked at those things that were needed: transportation, limousine services, food catering, construction builders, anything and everything that we needed to build the set, move bus kids from one location to another location. I utilized everything I had in those small businesses that was certified with Miami-Dade County to utilize them in order to get those opportunities. We was able to get over 300 businesses, over $18 million dealing with the Super Bowl that year. Those are just offsets that happens by just being associated with our certification list. So the opportunities just doesn't avail themselves to what Miami-Dade County has to offer with our $3.5 billion. The school board also have about $2 billion they spend, and Jackson Memorial Hospital has about $1.5 billion to $2 billion that they spend. All of these things are spinoffs from being certified with Miami-Dade County Small Business Development. So again, I encourage you to do so.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm gonna bring on someone that has their hand up in the chat, see if they have a question. Mr. Andre Morgan, do you have a question? I believe Mr. Ray was speaking when your hand came up. If so, you can unmute yourself and ask that question.
Yes, how you doing?
All right, love and life.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
sir.
Okay, how you doing, Gary? How are you guys doing? The message is strong. A lot of the information, definitely young, people like I would say that's in the business early 2 to 3 years, that the information is very valuable. A lot of the things I did not know. And again, I appreciate that. And one thing I wanted to ask you is that personally dealing with different commerces is, I want to ask you a question, is all the statements and questions, I mean, the answers that you're giving us, does that apply to all the commerce, Miami-Dade and Pacific?
You say all the counties or just to
No,
Miami-Dade?
no, no, the commerce, the chambers, the chambers.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah.
apply? Yeah, does that apply to all the chambers? That's what I'm trying to. That's
As long as your business is located in Miami-Dade County and you have a local business tax receipt for at least 1 year, you can be a part of our program. You meet the criterion. Plus, your 3-year average gross receipt of your business doesn't exceed the maximum amount within your category. The maximum amount you can be in construction is if you're a general contractor is 10 million. If you're a tradesman, then it's 5 million. If you're an architect, it's 4.5. And if you're an engineer, it's 6 million. And if you are in goods and services, your maximum amount is $5 million. As long as your 3-year average gross receipt doesn't exceed the maximum in those categories. And again, you have a local business tax receipt for a year. You have a place of business located here in Miami-Dade County, and your personal net worth does not exceed $1.5 million. You can become certified as one of our vendors.
Another question I'd like to ask you. My business more of a soft washing, dealing with chemicals and so forth. Removing mold, mildew, and algae off of buildings, windows, and things of that nature, which this is a great way. I'm approved by the CDC as being sanitized. I sanitize a lot of rails, entrance doors. I am actually the alternative to pressure washing. I think pressure washing is the thing of the past. I think what I have is something different. They have a network in New Orleans and Orlando that these people have been cleaning Disney World for 30 some years. And they open up their own network and their own system to have a better way of cleaning concrete buildings and things of that nature. So a lot of people is not familiar with my service. So I have to go in to be a pressure washer in order to, show my service or get them enlightenment to my service. That's not even a code for soft washing. When I sign up in Palm Beach, there's not a code. So everybody's using me for pressure washing, which I'm pretty much a little different. And how would I be able to give my service, to have contractors and others to acknowledge my service, to give my service to the public because it's needed? I'm more of a sanitizing guy. I can be used in hospitals, exterior buildings, mold, mildew, games, stadiums, to prevent the prevention of the COVID as well. So my service is beneficial. And I would like to actually pass it to the public so they can have acknowledgement and others can receive a service as great as mine. How do I go about that as well?
That's a great plug for your business. And I think that it was a wonderful explanation of your services. And to your understanding, there are plenty of opportunities for those chemicals to be purchased here in Miami-Dade County. There's a wonderful opportunity to you avail how to do that and show us through our procurement department and through SBD, so that we can now promote those types of chemicals and this types of service to the Jackson Health System, to the transit system, to a lot of these other, the housing agency and so forth, that use and needs those types of chemicals or services in order to betterment for care of our equipment. So I would employ you to, if your business is located here in Miami-Dade County, because I heard you say Palm Beach, if you have an office here in Miami-Dade County, you have a local business tax receipt for at least 1 year, I employ you to come down or go on our website and start to become certified with Miami-Dade County. And I'm quite sure we have pressure cleaning, but I also think the chemical portion of what you're saying you're selling is also a commodity that we purchase as well.
Gary, I just want to follow up. Actually, I had the pleasure of having him do work on my house. And our pressure cleaners have to get up on the roof and wash it down. His system, he doesn't have to get up on your roof. So you got to think about damaging your roof and those type of things. And then the other thing of liability, somebody slipping off your roof, but he has it where it's set up where he extends, washes down. And I mean, it's beautiful. So, and I believe he is certified with the county. So he definitely needs to follow up with you. He has a great product.
Excellent.
Awesome. And as we wrap up, I want to ask one last question to Ms. Teray, because we provided some information that a lot of our business owners don't normally get. in terms of ethics. And I know ethics is similar to being out in the world. Even if you don't know the law and you make the mistake, you can still be prosecuted for that. So could you just give a quick, how does the ethics committee let these business owners know these things? Is it a part of the certification process? Is it part of doing business? How do they find out this information, especially about those top three things that you touched upon, but on all the ways so that they can be clear about what they're getting into when they do government contracting and know where the landmines may be so they can go around them?
I think that's a very good question. One of the things that we do here at the Ethics Commission is that we do a lot of training. We have Mr. Robert Thompson that does a lot of training out in the community in different areas. And we certainly always try to partner up with other agencies as best as we can to provide the training. And anytime you guys invite us, we'll be very happy to come on and keep talking about it, because we believe that once people know about the rules, a lot of the time folks don't even know about our rules, and then they get caught up in it after the fact, and they didn't, because they just had no idea. So part of what we do is we have an entire training unit. Robert Thompson is the person that is in charge of that unit. And anytime you guys need us to come out to the to any of your members or any of your group of your meetings, we would be very happy to provide a training for them. We'll do a workshop. We're going to be partnering with Mr. Hartfield's office. I was in discussions with Ms. Wanda just yesterday about that, because we certainly have an entire section that's just for training. We want to make sure that the training is getting to the people that actually need it, so that everyone is aware of these rules and they don't get tripped up by it. So anytime anybody needs us, please let us know. We'll be very happy to come out. Mr. Thompson goes out in the morning. He does late night trainings as well, evening trainings as well, whatever is convenient for people. And he will get it done. We do, like I said, when they register in small business, they do ask them certain questions and do send them to our office. But I think a lot more of these types of sessions would be more beneficial, where we're speaking directly to small business owners in the very beginning. So before they even register at the county, we let them know right off the bat what their obligations are going to be, to make sure that they don't get in trouble. So anytime you want us to come out, anytime at all, whether it's a morning session, an afternoon, or an evening session, we'll be very happy to come out, because I would much rather deal with folks right now where we're educating, as opposed to dealing with them in my prosecutorial function enforcement section.
Gary, one thing I know we didn't talk about today, and I think you know where I'm going, is the disparity study in Miami-Dade County. And I don't want to go into it now, but I definitely want to say we want to engage with you and have a conversation for our members can learn more about the disparity study, what the challenges are, and how we go about engaging with the county as that process moves forward.
Wonderful question. And as Ms. Toure explained today about the cone of silence, that was very timely, because we issued an RFP for the disparity study to go out, and it actually is going to be due this Friday. Once that has come in, we receive the proposals. The cone of silence will be in effect. So this is probably the only time that I can speak about it until we make a selection of who that consultant would be to do so. The county is very proactive. Our mayor is very, very, very proactive in trying to conduct a disparity study so that we can get our firms back. Basically, we're looking at doing a 3-year history of our data, which we have a comprehensive data from construction, architect, engineering, goods and services. For the last 3 years of the county, we're looking at all the prime contractors that was paid, the subcontractors that was paid, their ethnicity and their gender. All of that information that we didn't have in the previous disparity studies, we do have now. So it's going to give the next consultant that's going to be hired in order to go through these things, do the necessary regression analysis and test that is needed, and have the interviews with our local firms to ensure that if disparity does exist within our way of awarding contracts and approving contracts, it's going to be notified. And plus, we have our county attorney's office working hand in hand with our consultant, with small business development, to try to see every angle that we possibly can look at to see how we can get this injunction that is over our heads lifted to allow us to go back to awarding contracts by race and gender. It's not going to be an easy task. There's a lot of information that we have to scour through. There's a lot of things that we have to prove that exist here in Miami-Dade County from the county perspective of the way we dole out these dollars about these $3.5 billion. And so as you can imagine, there's a numerous amount of contracts that needs to be reviewed. But hopefully, like I said, the proposals that come back in on Friday, the selection committee can begin their work in earnest, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And by the end of October, early November, we will probably have a consultant on board. We will have the completion of our 3-year data from the time we implemented the business management workforce system. That's the system that houses business to government now, also our LPC tracker that we have implemented 3 years ago to track this very data that I just spoke about. And also securing the ethnicity and gender of these firms from not only the prime level, but every subcontracting level there is, the primary subcontractor down to the 3rd tier, 4th tier subcontractor. We have that information. We have their ethnicity and gender. Again, that's something that we didn't have in the past. So I'm very encouraged about the results that should come out of this study. It's not going to be a quick process. It's going to take some time to go through this stuff. Normally, your average disparity study requires 6 months to a year of due diligence that's going to be done by this consultant. Hopefully we can get this thing done. I really want to break it down and do it in segments. Let's do construction and A&E first, and then we can take that findings, and hopefully our county attorneys can take that to the judge and get those injunctions lifted in those particular areas. And then we could focus also on goods and services after we get the results of that disparity study for the construction A&E. That consultant could roll right into goods and services, and we can get that done as well. Like I said, the mayor is very committed to this particular process, and so am I. And the county commission is also very committed to seeing what we can do to bring back our race and gender program. But please don't sleep on our race neutral and gender neutral program. We're getting some money out there, and I want to continue to do that. So don't let that deter you, because we don't award contract by race or gender, deter you from not becoming certified with Miami-Dade County, because you're missing out on too many opportunities not being it.
Well, Gary, that's some great information. I'm glad I did ask you that, because like you said, we're going to be in the cone of silence and we wouldn't even be able to have this conversation. So a lot of information coming out from Gary's department. Ms. Ture, thank you. Gary, thank you and your team. LaWanda, she's always on the front line with us, and we truly appreciate the work that she does and the rest of your team. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matt, and he'll close us out.
All right, again, echo the words of our President Eric Knowles. I want to thank everyone for joining us today to really share this information and support from Miami-Dade County Career Source for being able to provide this technical assistance to our business. We have these workshops at least once a month. Make sure you go to our website, www.m-dcc.org/events, to learn about upcoming workshops. Not only do we have these open workshops, we bring in experts and professionals to share knowledge, share information. We also do one-on-one technical assistance. So if you have a business, if you're interested in taking advantage of certification, we help with that. So we can work with you to get your back office in order, get your financials in order, business plan in order, so that you can take advantage of these certification opportunities. So you can go to our website and quickly schedule a meeting so that you can get one-on-one assistance to help you where you are so you can get to where you want to go. Another one of the ways in which we continue to provide technical assistance is through our small business meetup. Every Tuesday at 4 o'clock on Zoom, we make it very open so that you can join in on with us. We have small business owners from small startups to large established business owners come on, they share their knowledge, they share their insights, they share resources. We talk about the latest events and opportunities. This was one of our most significant and impactful activities we did as a chamber, especially during the coronavirus. We was on every single day. And a lot of our members were the first ones to get the Google grant, the PPP, EIDL, Facebook grant, and many of these opportunities. So log on to our small business meetup, connect with other business owners at your leisure. You can go online to learn more about that every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And we have our partners from Miami-Dade County Small Business Division, Career Source, Office of Economic Opportunity of Miami-Dade County, the Beacon Council. These are our partners that continuously come on and assist business owners right then and there. We've been doing a financial webinar series with the SBDC of FIU. And we're going to have our last one coming up September 23rd about managing your cash flow. You can go to our website, to our webinar recordings to see the past webinars that we have. But this is a great opportunity for you to learn more about how to make sure you manage your money, which is critical to being able to expand and develop your business. Also, our Women's Business Council have been doing a program about sharing knowledge between generations. These are local Black women millionaires that are talking about how they made their first million, sharing our money mistakes, money moves I wish I would have made, and being in the right room, which is coming up on October 7th. You can come on our Facebook to learn about those, to review the past ones, and make sure you register to sign up. These are the type of events that we do as a chamber to share knowledge, connect resources, and make people engage with each other. Our event, one of our major events that we're going to have is our 30th annual Dorothy Baker Golf Classic. This is one of the longest running and largest Black minority golf tournaments. It is a huge opportunity for you to be able to sponsor, to get opportunities to engage with others, to network, and really connect with the who's who of people in business and government here locally in Miami-Dade County and South Florida. There's a lot of who's who's that join in on this opportunity. So we strongly encourage you to be there.
I had to interrupt you just for a second there as I look at Gary and saw him on the golf course this past Saturday. So I want to see your crew out there on the 29th of October. No excuses.
I understand, sir. I understand. We have a force.
Awesome. That's good. So that concludes this presentation, this technical assistance workshop. We strongly encourage you to join in with the chamber. Go to www.m-dcc.org. And if you're just curious, just sign up for technical assistance. We could talk more about how we can help you and benefit and really help our small Black and minority businesses grow here in South Florida. That is our aim. That is our purpose. And we are the institution, the organization to do that and to connect the dots, as our president says, with the county, Miami-Dade Public Schools, Jackson Health, the state, all these opportunities. We're the one that make these connections to all of them so you can maximize your business procurement opportunities so you can grow. So we thank you again for joining us. Spread the word. We look forward to speaking to you. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.